The new guidelines recognize that whole, nutrient-dense food is the most effective path to better health and lower healthcare costs. Protein and healthy fats are essential and were wrongly discouraged in prior dietary guidelines. We are ending the war on saturated fats. As Secretary of Health and Human Services, my message is clear: eat real food.
How revolutionary. Eat real food. Welcome back to The Count. We're counting down the major stories of the week. I'm Lydia Serrani. Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr., you just heard him announcing new dietary policies that go all in on meat and dairy and real food, essentially flipping the food pyramid there. The administration now promoting whole foods, proteins, and healthy fats in an effort to push Americans to eat healthy foods. And we have this obesity epidemic and steer clear of highly processed foods that are clearly harmful to your health. Joining us now to discuss is an 8th-generation farmer and rancher and the current commissioner of the Texas Department of Agriculture, Sid Miller. Sid, love the hat, love the ring, love the whole look. This is great. Talk to me about what RFK Jr. is doing here. It makes sense. I mean, I'm sure you grew up hearing this. What do you think about what he's saying?
Well, we're finally using some cowboy logic. This old food pyramid appeared, in the late 70s and 80s. Prior to that, we didn't have an obesity epidemic. We didn't have a childhood diabetes outbreak, in our younger children. So basically, this is just good old cowboy logic. Eat meat in the good fats. Stay away from the ultra processed foods, the refined sugars. If it comes in a package, don't eat it. Try to eat fresh and wholesome meat, dairy, and vegetables. I mean, it's just like our parents when I grew up. That's what they taught us, and very few fat kids when I grew up. But we were eating lean meat, the good fats, fruits and vegetables. A lot of good home cooking. Stay off the dyes and additives and preservatives and everything that's in the ultra processed food. So this is a good move. This could actually have a great healthy outcome for America.
Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins touted how this will actually also help American farmers. Listen to this, sir.
This pivot also leans into the abundant, affordable, and healthy food supply already available from America's incredible farmers and ranchers. By making milk, raising cattle, and growing wholesome fruits, vegetables, and grains, they hold the key to solving our national health crisis.
Commissioner, what do you think about what she just said there?
Well, I'm in charge of 5 million school meals each day. So the thing that excites me most about this is getting whole milk back into our children in our schools. It's God's nectar to infants and toddlers and children. It's the perfect food. You could live on just whole milk alone. So getting away from the 1% milk, it's 3/4 water, getting good proteins to build strong bones and body, the calcium and vitamins in milk and dairy products is unsurpassed by any other food. So this is a good move. America's going to be a lot healthier for it.
It's funny because a friend of mine, her daughter was having all these behavioral issues, and I saw her pull out the milk, and I'm talking a 2-year-old, and she was giving her almond milk. So you have a lot of these parents, and I was like, that is so processed. That's chemicals. The pediatrician told her this is why your child is sick. So what do you think about, you have a lot of moms out there that they've been brainwashed into thinking that almond milk and the oat milk and that's better for the child than, say, good old-fashioned whole milk.
Well, if you want to drink that stuff, that's fine. But milk only comes from animals that have mammary glands. There are no mammary glands on almonds or oats, I promise you. There's no such thing as almond milk. It may be almond juice or something like that.
Canned milk and almonds.
But let's be truth in advertising. Milk, comes from an udder, nowhere else.
Yeah, it's a brilliant strategy, right? By the marketing the almond milk, right? Calling it that when it's anything but. Sid Miller, Commissioner, thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Thank you. God bless. Eat more beef, drink more milk.
Absolutely. Thank you.